3 local police departments are shining a light on mental health and the need for mental health support in law enforcement.
Those stresses affect us physically, emotionally, cognitively at times. And part of our purpose here in building a peer support team was to fight that, to build resilience in the long term so we can be healthy employees for each city that we represent, for the communities that we serve.
Police officers from Crystal, New Hope, and Robbinsdale came to CCX Studios to talk about a new program, the need for peer support in mental health, and how the program will help people who work in all levels of law enforcement, from captains to civilians.
The mentality has always been, you show up, you do your job, you deal with whatever you have to deal with, you go home and you do the same thing the next day. That's not how humans work. We're human and we need to work through these things.
There is a full online course for coordinators and in-person training too, so peers can be trained and ready to help. A Brooklyn Park woman recently received the honor of being North Hennepin Community College's Distinguished Alumni Award recipient. We sat down with nurse and community advocate Jeanette Rupert to hear about a nonprofit she helped found for today's Newsmakers segment.
612 MASH, it's a nonprofit that started in the midst of an uprising. So out of trauma came this wonderful organization that facilitates health promotion and health prevention in the BIPOC community and communities where there are disparities and lack of access. So I'm on the board of 612 MASH as well as a volunteer and a founding member creating this organization.
All right, and you guys have something coming up at the end of May. Can you tell us about that?
We do. So we are part of a larger event happening sponsored by George Floyd Global Memorial called Rise and Remember. And this event is an annual event that happens every year since the public lynching of George Floyd. The community has come together and had a huge festival last year. We had Common came. He was there for our free concert in the Sounds of Blackness. We had art and music, and this year we are having the same surprise guest artists and art, music, things for the kids, a kids zone. But the theme this year is We Will Heal Us. So 612 MASH, MASH standing for Minneapolis All Shall Heal, and Minnesota Nurses Association will be in partnership, as well as we'll have a self-care health fair. So the self-care fair will be there. We're partnering with many vendors to promote how we can heal and promote healthy living within our community.
All right, this is just one of many things that you're involved in because you wear several hats. You're a nurse, you live here in Brooklyn Park, you're a reverend, and you recently are an award recipient for North Hennepin, a distinguished alumni. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
What'd you think when you found out you won?
I was very surprised. I didn't really expect it. I see the work that I do as part of a bigger picture, a part of the greater good, and it's important for everyone to know that whatever you do, whatever field that you're in, that we're all here to help, and just whatever giftings you have, that's what we give, right, to help and make this world around us better. So I feel like I'm a part of that, and to be honored was an honor, is an honor, but I didn't feel that I'm more deserving than anyone else, but I'm thankful for the foundation that North Hennepin has given me. I'm thankful for the instructors that have instilled great things in me, and I will continue to propel my giftings forward to make our communities better.
Yeah. And some of the work that you do is pretty rewarding, right?
You know, it is when you can see the work come into fruition. Now, as a nurse, sometimes you don't see the end result of the work that you do. You'll give, you'll care, and then that patient ends up getting transferred or moved to a different facility, so you don't always see the end result. So I've kind of learned to give it your all, give it your best, do the great work, whether or not you see the end result.
All right, that's good advice. Jeanette Rupert, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
And congrats on your award.
Thank you for having me, Shannon.
Nature lovers are headed out to Eastman Nature Center in Maple Grove to check out a special mating ritual involving a bird you may not have heard of before. It's called the Timberdoodle. As reporter Sonia Goen shows us, tracking this elusive bird is tricky.
I don't know how often you all sit outdoors quietly and just listen.
On a clear, chilly spring night,
The spot we're going to is also very reliable.
Dozens gathered at Eastman Nature Center to track the elusive Timberdoodle.
I'm amazed that this stocky, round little body with its very short wings is perfect for wiggling around in the tight thickets where it goes probing for worms.
Also known as the American woodcock.
And here we have that long beak that it can shove down into the ground.
The name alone is enough to pique your curiosity. In fact, this bird has several nicknames.
Poke and poke, bog sucker, mud snipe.
The creatures migrate to Minnesota in the spring and mostly nest on the ground,
Walking and probing and checking out the leaves.
hidden among vegetation.
And then there's this weird thing that happens.
This is a special time of year when the birds perform their mating ritual.
At first, he goes, paint.
The males eventually leave the nest and take to the sky.
He soars up into the air, and sometimes you see him silhouetted against the sky. And then he spirals, and some people try to keep their eyes on him, and that's the dance. And so you're going to be watching and listening.
The male birds check out the area before landing on a mating spot. They let out a unique sound to attract female Timberdoodles. The males will continue to call out until finding a female.
And then that final moment, he goes silent. He holds his wings steady so it's totally quiet. He scopes out the area to make sure it's safe.
Eventually, if the male's dance is magical, he'll attract a mate. There's only a small window of time, just after sunset, where you can watch the romantic ritual.
So I'm fascinated by people who are bird watchers and all that, and I have not done any of that. So this is an opportunity to experience that.
Just to hear the sound besides the dance.
In Maple Grove, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
Let's start our 2022 CCX All-Area Boys Basketball team with Mr. Basketball winner, number 4, Braden Carrington of Park Center.
Carrington, deep three and in.
The senior led the state Class 4A champion Pirates in scoring at 18.5 points per game. Carrington was All-State and first-team All-Metro.
To the basket and one.
Our deep and talented backcourt continues with Totino Grace's number 11, Hasten Chapman. The Eagles junior could do it all for the Class 3A champion Eagles, averaging over 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. Chapman was second-team All-Metro. Cooper's number 0, Davian Evans, could fill it up this season for the Hawks.
Evans spinning to the baseline and scored.
The senior guard averaged 25 points per game for Cooper. He was an All-Metro West Conference player. Number 2, Tyrese Waits of Osseo helped lead the Orioles to the Section 5 4A championship game.
Tough shot, he hits it. Lost a foul.
Senior Waits led the Orioles in scoring, averaging 15 points per game to go along with 4 assists, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals per game.
One up for Johnson for the jam.
Wayzata's number 15, Drew Birkland, was a 2-time All-Conference guard for the state Class 4A runner-up Trojans.
Another three. He's got 11 points already.
A big game player, senior Birkland averaged 10 points, 3.5 rebounds per game, while leading the Trojans in 3-point field goals. Armstrong's number 1, Peyton Newburn, led his team in points and steals this season. The lengthy senior guard averaged nearly 19 points, 7 rebounds, and 2+ steals per game for the Falcons. Newburn was all Northwest Suburban Conference. Park Center's number 13, Leo Torber, was another of the Pirates' talented senior guards.
Leo Torber!
Torber averaged 14 points per game, was All-Metro honorable mention, and will play college ball next year at San Jose State. Champlain Park's number 22, Io Taki, was a bright spot for the Rebels this season.
Putting it on the deck. It's all the way to the hoop.
Taki led Champlain Park in scoring at 15 points and 6.5 rebounds per game. He was all Northwest Suburban Conference. Number 21, Maple Grove's Matthew Hosman, was a deadly outside shooter for the Crimson.
Hosman, first shot of the night that goes in for 3.
The senior guard set Maple Grove's single game and single season records for 3-pointers, hitting 79 triples for the year, making 43% of them. Padale St. Margaret's number 2, Ryan Warren, led the Red Knights in scoring, averaging 15 points a game.
He hits a 3 from the other side.
The All-Metro West Conference selection and academic All-State player was Benild's MVP. Park Center's number 5, Cody Pennebaker, finished strong in a good senior year for the Pirates guard. Pennebaker averaged 14 points per game for the 31-1 Pirates. He was all Northwest Suburban Conference. Hopkins number 4, C.J. O'Hara, led the 18-10 Royals in scoring, averaging nearly 19 points a game this season. O'Hara was one of the top guards in the Lake Conference. Our big men are led by Totino Grace senior Demarion Watson. The Iowa State signee averaged 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 blocks per game for the state champion Eagles. Watson was All-State and first-team All-Metro. Whitehead's number 32, Carter Bjerke, finished his high school career with a terrific senior season. The 6'9" post averaged 17 points and 9 rebounds per game. Bjerke was a 3-time All-Lake Conference pick. Will play next year at the University of St. Thomas. Maranatha Christian Academy senior number 23, Jeremiah Lavelle, was the top scorer from Mustangs team that finished as Section 5AA runner-up. Lavelle averaged just over 20 points per game and nearly 25 a game in the section playoffs. Hopkins number 2, Ellis Najee, was second on the team in scoring while leading the Royals in rebounds.
Najee with a steal, look out!
An explosive leaper, Najee was All-Lake Conference as a senior. Osseo's number 4, Isaiah Johnson, is a fast-rising sophomore. The 6'5" forward averaged 13 points and 6 rebounds a game for the 22-7 Orioles. It's a deep and talented group, the 2022 CCX Sports All-Area Boys Basketball Team. And these players enjoyed good seasons as well. Here are the honorable mention selections for 2022.